Well, with pre-match entertainment at Turf Moor in the Lancashire derby, Preston's Deepdale Duck against Burnley's Bertie B, and it's more like it's a knockout, Terry.
Well, you can do this, the whole. Where's Bertie B, David?
Big round of applause then for the Burnley mascot Bertie B as he enters the field of play. A lean, mean, stinging machine, Bertie B.
Please welcome Burnley's Bertie B.
Well, here he comes, Bertie B. Looks like with the troops.
And it looks, David, as though he's being stretchered onto the field, not stretchered off. It's a lot to live it up, and I'll tell you what it is, David. When we were asked to do this, we weren't supposed to commentate on a mascot championship. In fact, Ray turns to the side of me, doesn't realise. Ray, what's the score in this one?
Well, I think they've thrown a ringer in here because I reckon he's one of these commandos, Terry. Yeah, I think there's a ringer underneath that head, so I think it'll be Bertie B.
And what do you say it's looking like Rourke's Drift?
Well, it certainly rocked the crowd their feet anyway. Don't know where they get these trumpeters from, but they're looking very smart.
And the duck's just gone there, David.
Some loud quackers there. Well, Bertie B is running over to the Bob Lord side of the ground and waving to the fans who are just sort of nestling in there before the match kicks off. Footwear looks very good indeed. The size of the shoes he's referring to, about a size 20, I would think, bigger than even yours or mine, Terry.
Before we start the first challenge, we have Corporal Musgrave from the Queen's Lancashire Regiment who will demonstrate the course to the two mascots. So it's over to Corporal Musgrave who's going to do the full course. Mascots are ready to get over it. Over to you, Corporal.
And Ray Ternent says it's Andy Payton.
So we go over the top, underneath, over, straight over the top.
Easy, it's dead easy. Oops. Dirty duck.
And the duck's gone.
Deepdale Duck lands with a soft cushion.
Okay, mascots.
Looks a wee bit drunk at the moment.
Let's get together, guys. Shake hands. And may the best mascot win.
So here we go then. Pre-match entertainment at Turf Moor. Bertie B and Deepdale Duck do battle.
Okay,
Shouts of "Go on, Bertie" from grown men all around the stadium.
Bertie B, Deepdale Duck, we want a clean duel. No punching, no kicking.
Whatever happened to Turfy Topper?
Singing. And certainly no pecking. Let's have a clean duel, boys.
My son thinks that's a pizza topping, David, Turfy Topper.
Let's go in now, let's get it on. Into your positions. Along the band.
I think all that's sort of missing from this is Stuart Hall doing the commentary, but we can't oblige that, so we'll just watch the Bertie B and the Deepdale Duck do battle here at Turf Moor. Yeah, have they played the Joker? Terry would like to know, but are on the marks. As soon as Andy Payton's completed his three-match ban, Terry seems to think Bertie B could be Andy Payton. I'm not sure about this. Got to keep him active. Oof.
Let's go.
With a bang. Oh, it's Bertie B well in front here. Very agile. Oh, cheating. He'll be disqualified for this. I'm sure that's a player in that outfit of Bertie B. He looks so fit. And the troops getting involved. No, I think it might be John Gale, the former Claret.
Why should England tremble, David, when we've got mascots like this? And he's moving the obstacle course. Can you believe that? And they're rattling through that obstacle. And Bertie comes out to great cheers. And he's just going to check his handy bit.
Bertie B wins by a and that Deepdale Duck.
By a bill.
By a bill, he's got stuck in the old netting. He was never up for it when Deepdale Duck, I can tell you that.
Definitely groggy, David.
I certainly very grotty Deepdale Duck. She's a rather large sort of thing that a clown would wear in a circus, I would think.
Yeah, stung the bee there, didn't it? Yeah, stung the duck.
Stung the duck there, did Bertie, did well.
Now it's the Preston, ladies and gentlemen. First shot is going to be taken by Deepdale Duck. So, Bertie, you want to go in goals?
Now a shootout competition between the two mascots. And the Deepdale Duck is going in goal first. The tension too much for us up here on the gantry, I've got to say that. Right in front of the gantry here. The first penalty to be taken by Bertie B, lining it up on that halfway line, gets it centre.
Here we go.
Are you ready?
The big question is, are you ready to duck, goalkeeper?
Here we go. First shot, come on, Glen, let's get it. Come on.
Come on, Bertie B.
Okay, B, let's go.
And Bertie B steps up. 1-0.
It's Brian O'Neill.
No, it could be Brian O'Neill, but we think it's Andy Payton. I wish he'd reveal himself after this, I really do.
I'll tell you what, David, and Bertie's the leaner Bertie than he was a few weeks ago. I'll tell you what it is, all this training with the Queen's Lancashire Regiment has definitely shed a few stones.
Hey, Bertie B, you've got to be watching, hey. Hey, it's a fair old cheat, this Deepdale Duck, I can tell you.
Well, there's a disputed penalty there, David. It wasn't even in the goal with Bertie, and he took it into the goal.
Taken by Bertie B, come on.
Looks a bit nonchalant, does Bertie.
Penalty.
Touch of the Norman Colliers on the old microphone down there.
Are we ready? Come on, let's get behind it.
Once again, Bertie B steps up to take his second one. So easy, so easy. Sent the goalie the wrong way. He can even do somersaults as well.
2-1.
This could well be Stan's punishment for players who are banned, David. Yeah. And if you upset the management here, you have to beat Bertie B the following home game, Ray.
Yeah, that could be very true, Terry. Yeah, right. Well, we've got Bertie, what do you call it? Deepdale Duck now.
Here we go.
I think he's taken advantage of this here by from at least 6 yards.
That was a tame duck there from Deepdale Duck, and I'm sure Bertie B just let it roll in there, but it's now time for the Bertie B to take his third penalty. Let's watch with anticipation here at Turf Moor. I think he's going to blast this one, probably right up into the James Hargreaves stands. He's taking a long run, and he runs up. And he, oh, what a, hey, what class. Hey, this Bertie B's played before, I'm not having this. He's a professional. You've got to wait for the Bertie B to get back in the goal mouth. He didn't wait last time. Yeah. Stan will probably sign Bertie B after this. Look, he's doing it again. Ray Ternent said a full-time contract for Bertie B. He's been sacked from being the mascot. He's going to be playing next week. After a performance like this, it makes you wonder.
There we go. We've got to score one to survive.
And Brian Flynn from Wrexham has sent his spies, and there you go. Deepdale Duck has levelled it up.
The Deepdale Duck, our very own hero, Bertie B.
Bertie B and Deepdale Duck shake hands. Oops, the ball. That ball will not reach. Oh, it's gone into the crowd. They've got a ball there to take home with them. And that completes the pre-match entertainment with the Bee and the Duck.
Just to let you know there, we became the talking the ground. And just remind you that if we stick in the seats, the new, well, we've got the Pirates taking on the other Wrights. And obviously the actual prize at stake is a place in Division 1 next year. We've got our two mascots, we've got Bertie B and the Bertie B. The tunnel before the players coming into the pitch. And we'll show you a very entertaining game this afternoon. Once again, you've got to get behind the lads with the duck and went onto the pitch.
Well, it's like a carnival atmosphere, a cup final if you like. Turf Moor packed to the rafters, the biggest gate in 20 years, and it's something of a little bit of a derby. And I say little, there's no little about it. Ian Wright mania has gripped Turf Moor, and this is the result of it. Add to the fact that local rivals Preston North End are up there at the top. The Clarets runs continues here at Turf Moor. Another 6-pointer against local rivals Preston. Whilst the Clarets were fighting relegation last season, North End had made it into the playoffs. However, they bowed out to Man City. David Moyes' men are a lot tougher all this season. The corresponding match last season saw North End steal the show with a goal from forgotten man Kurt Nogan. Jonathan Macken, never previously a regular, the former Man United player, sees his chance in the absence of injured Steve Basham. A former oldie but goodie favourite at Turf Moor, David Ayres, he's still in the starting lineup, but today he's on the bench for the Lily Whites. Let me tell you about today's mascot for the Clarets. It's Sean Cox. Sean is 10 years old, goes to Padiham Primary School. His hobbies include playing football and playing video games. His favourite player is Andy Cooke. Have a good game, have a good day with the Clarets, Sean, and let's see if we can catch Preston up today.
Number 8, Paul Cooke. Number 5, Steve Davis. Number 11, Lenny Johnrose. Number 9, Andy Cooke. Number 7, Glen and number 23, Ian Wright.
Well, Burnley line up, Paul Crichton in goal. At 32, Ian Cox. In at number 2 is Dean West for the suspended Mitchell Thomas. John Mullin at 30, 15 Graham Branch. Paul Cook's at 8, 5 Steve Davis. 11 Lenny Johnrose, 9 Andy Cooke. 33 is Ian Wright, 7 is Glen Little. The substitutes for the Clarets, Ronnie Jepson, Paul Smith, Mickey Mellon, Chris Brass and Mark Robertson. And for Preston North End, Tepe Moyes, Graham Alexandra, Rob Edwards at 15, Colin Murdoch at 14, Mark Rankin at 8, Michael Jackson at 5, Sean Gregan at 6, Ryan Kidd at 4, Jonathan Macken 17, Steve Basham at 10 and Ian Anderson at 31. On the bench for North End, David Lucas, Brett Angel, David Ayres, Bjork Gunnar Larsson and Lee Cartwright. Mr. Kirkby is the official. He's from Sheffield for a Lancashire derby. Terry, your thoughts on the team and the game?
I said the other week, David, against Bristol Rovers, it was a must-win game. I'm not so sure that's the same today. It's a Lancashire derby. Everybody's up for it. You can just hear the crowd. It's like the cup final at Wembley, David. I'm going to say this, that if it does become a draw, then the West Lancashire side will be the happier. I'm going to sit on the fence, David. I know you're going for a Clarets victory, but it's a game, really, that we shouldn't lose.
Thanks, Terry. Yes, we shouldn't lose it. I'm going to stick my neck out, give it a 1-0 win, but that's my prediction. And it's Preston quickly into the thick of the action here. As Mark Rankin coming down that inside left channel for the Lily Whites. The Clarets conceding a corner early in the game, and Burnley defending the very packed cricket field stand end of the ground here. It's Paul Crichton in the Burnley goal, wearing a bright yellow top this afternoon. The corner comes flying in, and just a tip over, was it? No, he got a fist to it, did Paul Crichton. That was at the near post there, and another corner, 2 in a row for Preston.
Yes, the early pressure from the Lilywhites, David, and Glen and one of their players was in a bit of a fracas there. There was a lot of pushing, and if the referee is very keen there, he might just be blowing. So we've got to watch that, and it was good defending, I think, by Coxey, wasn't it, to get it away for the second corner.
And the second corner to be taken. Oh, and a header in, a goal! Oh dear, Burnley, the sucker punch from 2 corners, and the Preston fans go wild here at Turf Moor. There's dead silence from the Claret supporters. You might expect that.
Michael Jackson, I think, David, floated over just in that bit of space, gets his head behind it, top corner, can't do much about it. You'd ask questions afterwards, that'll fire them up. We've just got to come back, and I'd sooner them score in the first couple of minutes rather than the last couple of minutes.
Well, that's a shock to Burnley. Hardly got an attack going, the Clarets. The pressure from Preston, and their defeat, of course. The referee's got injured, by the way. He's hobbling and holding his face as well, so goodness knows what happened to the referee there. Ray Ternent, would you say anything about the referee there?
I'm not sure, David. I think there was someone come out the crowd there from the Preston end, but I'm not too sure. Well, it looks as though he's got an eye injury of some sort, and he's staggering it. But I think it's come out the Preston end, but I think it could be a coin. I'm not too sure.
What was your thought on the goal there, Ray?
Well, slack Martin again, when they, early on, it showed with the first corner that they nearly scored from that. The second one should have been a warning, and it certainly was. It flew in the back of the net. Just stop me marking. You've got to be on your mettle right from the word go.
Well, there's my prediction gone south, so Burnley to kick off now as Preston take a 1-0 early lead here at Turf Moor in the Lancashire derby. It's a sellout. The atmosphere is electric, but Burnley trail by an early goal. Michael Jackson, very aptly named. Like, I suppose you could say it was a thriller for him, but not for the Claret supporters. Michael Jackson gives Preston the lead. Burnley have a throw in far side. Paul Cooke leaving it for Dean West, who's in today, of course, for the suspended Mitchell Thomas. And Andy Payton sitting out his last 3-match ban. He'll be fit for the Luton match on Tuesday evening, a 7:45 kickoff here at Turf Moor. The Clarets with West, who plays it high in the sky into the area. Ian Wright's there. Was it a foul on Ian Wright? The referee thinks not. And Paul Cooke plays it left-hand side for the Clarets. Glen Little inside here for Graham Branch. Branch looks around, gives it in back. And Little for Johnrose. Johnrose gives him the return. And a strong challenge from Graham Alexander. Wants a target for Stan Ternent at right back. In the end, he chose Preston. And Burnley went for Dean West.
There is one certainty now, David. Burnley can't sit on this. They have to really push forward, and that always obviously can leave gaps at the back, but they've really got to push on now and get a goal back. Although, as I said before, a goal early on. Sorry, David?
On the left again.
Right, he is. Yes, he is, yeah. But you'd sooner somebody score early against you than late on.
Yes, it's all going to be a cracking game as Burnley got to keep pushing forward now. The ball played in. Preston failed to clear it. Johnrose chasing this one. A good challenge by Johnrose. But it goes against the Clarets. Preston have a throw-in. Coming up to 5 minutes. It's hardly a chance to get your breath here at Turf Moor, as a throw-in taken by Preston. Good challenge from Ian Cox as Andy Cooke battling away. Oh, Lenny Johnrose went in there. Rather strong challenge, but no foul. It's a real hot pot here, and there's going to be tempers flying, as we've just seen there. Now, Clarets have it with Glen Little, near side for Burnley. Given away, Branch gets it. Here's Johnrose for the Clarets. Sweeping ball to that far right-hand side. It's Dean West who moves into the Preston half. And West put an early ball in. Ian Wright's up for that one. But again, Preston managed to clear the danger. Ian Wright played his third game for the Clarets from moving from Celtic. Cox traps the ball, but dispossessed by Rankin on the right-hand side for Preston. Plays the ball in! Oh, and there was Dean West to the rescue inside the 6-yard area. Good defending from the former Bury fullback. Here's Andy Cooke. Cooke goes down. Chases on for Wright. But Moylin's there to pick it up just at the edge of his 18-yard area for Preston North End. What a... Well, down goes the Preston man. I think it's Sean Gregan that's gone down in the centre circle. Again, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I think that might have been a result of a challenge by Lenny Johnrose. It was a particularly strong challenge, and the referee waved play on and get on with it. They've motioned that they don't want to stretch, they don't want any subs, just a bit of treatment. Incident packed, I think you've already said it, David. And the referee's got to be on his mettle here, hasn't he? Because the tackles will be pretty fast and furious, flying in, as you said. But it's a bad start by the Clarets, isn't it, to concede so early, David? And they've just got to push on.
Yeah, a big shock, but there you go. It's a lot to play for in this game. Sean Gregan getting the treatment from the Preston physiotherapy there. Well, he's got a team of backroom staff coming on here. It must be pretty bad for Sean Gregan. What can we say? A strong challenge by Lenny, as you said, but the referee saw nothing wrong.
And when the Preston players then, David, made the don't need any treatment sort of thing, it might have been that he couldn't go on. I'm not so sure about that. And the substitute is getting changed. Yeah, he's ready to come on. So I think this is the last we've seen of Visit Sean Gregan. Yeah, it looks like he's not going to take any further part in the game.
Well, it looks like, as I said, it looks like Lee Cartwright ready to come on for the injured Sean Gregan. So stoppage time here at the turf. So Sean Gregan coming off on the stretcher then for Preston. That's not a nice sight to see. But you'd expect to be fired up for a Lancashire derby, and exactly what both sets of players have been.
Preston. The player that's coming on is number 7, Wright.
Well, Ray Ternent, the former Clarity, who's doing the stats this afternoon, had a look through the binoculars, and it looked like Sean Gregan's got a bad gash, but the way he's holding his arm, maybe more than that. We'll just have to find out after the game, as Lee Cartwright enters the field of play for Preston North End. We've had 9 minutes gone here. Just to remind you of the scoreline, it's Burnley 0, Preston North End 1 in the first 2 minutes. Michael Jackson, the scorer for the visitors. Little dispossessed. Was he? He's still battling. And Lenny Johnrose is just the sort. Well, they appear to be on the lookout for Lenny. There's no doubt about that, Terry.
Yeah, you're quite right. The players have decided that Lenny Johnrose might have been at fault for the tackle, David, and they were trying to bring out their own retribution there. Luckily, the referee, Mr. Kirkby from Sheffield, I think it was, saw the challenges going in, and free kick to Burnley.
And Burnley take that free kick. Paul Cooke's up there to head forward, but Alexander clears it for Preston. Intercepted by Dean West. Free kick given against Dean West or whoever. Handball, we believe. So things to calm down yet. Electric start to this game, but it's the scoreline that reads Preston 1-0 up here. A booking, the first one of the game. Well, it's going to get handbags at 10 paces here. A lot of pushing going on after that foul. It's Dean West that's going into Mr. Kirkby's book, the first booking of the game. You've hardly really got a chance to catch your breath. So, a free kick will be taken. Ian Anderson, the man who was brought down by Dean West, that put Dean West into the referee's notebook. Murdoch takes the free kick, and Little's in the way with a back header for Paul Crichton, just on 6 yards there. Paul Crichton dispatches down this left-hand side. Andy Cooke looking for that one. Alexander keeps it in, pumps it forward. Graham Branch is here, and so too is Glen Little. Back for Ian Cox. Cox distribution is good. Wright turns well. Finds John Mullin for the Clarets. Skipper Steve Davis for Burnley. Score of 2 goals last week at Lair Road. And now Little operating on the left-hand side. Right foot cross. Hit the back of that man there, Lee Cartwright. And Clarets will take this throw-in via Graham Branch. Cartwright gets the header in. Ian Cox heads forward, but that's out.
Well, we're just after 10 minutes gone, David. You can certainly say there's a bit of passion in the game. Yeah, it's obvious, yeah.
Cartwright with the header again. Hit high in the sky by Rob Edwards that time. Cartwright heads down on this near side for Preston. Graham Alexander plays it down the right-hand side. Graham Branch intercepts with the header. Here's Andy Cooke, but he can't keep it in. It was flying away all the time for Andy Cooke, and really Burnley haven't had a chance to settle down, it must be said. Live commentary from Turf Moor. It's 13 minutes gone in the first half, and well kept in by Jonathan Macken there. Johnrose pumps it forward. Again it rolls down the line and rolls out of play. Watched by Michael Jackson. It's the visitors' throw adjacent their own penalty area here. The linesman just having a word with Alexander to say, yes, this is where I want it taken. couldn't quite get hold of it caught right, but Glen Little does. Here's John Mullin, back for Paul Cooke. Paul Cooke, they pulled the strings so often for Burnley to make them tick. He's given that ball away as Paul Cooke. He gets it on the bounce, and away come that with Rob Edwards for Preston. Over to that far side, the left-hand side for them. Cleared long by Murdoch. Davis in with a header for Burnley. Here's Little in the centre circle. Little turns one way. Good ball down the line there for Andy Cooke. Goalkeeper is out. Tepe. And, well, it would appear that he may have caught the goalkeeper, Andy Cooke. The referee just making sure. I don't think he has, you know. Well, he may have. The Burnley fans not happy. But was he or was he not touched? We don't know. Takes the free kick then. Cox plays it back for Graham Branch. Branch plays it down the left-hand side again for Burnley. Looking there for Ian Wright. Here's Paul Cooke. Powers it high, left-hand side, looking for Ian Wright. Will it stop in? Michael Jackson makes sure it doesn't stop in. He puts it out. Quarter hour mark here. Lenny Johnrose with a throw-in for the Clarets. Wright to Little. And let's stop. Wright, was he brought down? Referee says, on your bike. Ian Wright perhaps knows it wasn't, as he just taps the defender on the shoulder.
Seen him given David previously. Yeah, we all have, but it's sort of acknowledged that, you know, if he'd have given it, it was a harsh decision. But it's looking a bit more Burnley, isn't it? We've just had a bit more controlled football, added attack, got the ball into their box, and that's what we need. Because they settled just a bit easier, more readily than we did. And of course, if you ever need anything to settle you down, it's a goal in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, it's certainly been a good start for Preston. Clarets are battling now with Paul Cooke, but he just can't get through them all. Eventually cleared by Murdoch. Dean West for Burnley plays it down the right-hand side. And Ryan Kidd, well, he didn't stop in. Ryan Kidd thought he had. Referee and assistant give it to the Clarets. Over on that far side here at Turf Moor. It's John Mullin. West again. Can't get it back for Mullin. Good foot up there from John Mullin. Here's Paul Cooke. And Steve Davis just prompts it forward, looking for Glen Little. But Michael Jackson was quickly in on Glen Little there. But Burnley retrieve it with Ian Cox. Good turn from Glen. And Glen keeps it in. Alexander can't catch him. Little to the byline. Across from Little. Oh, and that was problems for the Preston defence. Glen Little doing also well on the left-hand side there.
Yeah, the man wriggled his way in, David, and pulled it back. Good attack by the Clarets. Straight to the other end, and it's Cox here. What's he going to do? Just usher it into play. Throw into the Clarets. Bit more like it, that attack, David.
Yeah, more like the old Burnley there as Glen Little getting into his stride. Good to see. Back egger from Branch. Little gets the header on here. Wright. Back for Johnrose. He'll have to be sharp because the biting tackles of Graham Alexander. And Coxey went in with a good challenge. Coxey comes away with it. Back for Paul Crichton. And looking on was Jonathan Macken for Preston. That was a foul by Andy Cooke. So the free kick will be taken for the Lily Whites. Alexander takes it to that far side. And will it be kept in by Macken? He does keep it in. Macken does well. Beaten down by Dean West. Throw in to Preston. So I've never seen the cricket fan stand so full, to be honest. Years and years ago, 20 years ago perhaps, and the Preston fans have been delighted so far with their team's start. Johnrose in. Rob Edwards chasing Ian Wright, and Rob Edwards comes away with the ball for Preston. Murdoch The ball swung to Alexander here on the near side. More hungry was Steve Basham to get the ball away. Graham Branch sort of waited for it to come to him, and Preston coming forward again. Basham. Branch does well to get it away from Basham. Here's Ian Wright. Lenny Johnrose for the Clarets. Push wide for Dean West, still in the Burnley half. Long ball for Wright to chase. Colin Murdoch made rather a mess of that one, but Murdoch has it at his feet now for Preston. Burnley at the moment appear to be second best into the challenges, perhaps. Another word from Mr. Kirkby. John Mullin having a word now. It's going to be a free kick to our visitors. And just a note as well, on the bench for Preston, Brett Angel. We know Burnley fans don't remind too much about him. He don't like to say this, but every time he seems to have played against the Clarets, he manages to notch one. Let's hope he doesn't come into the arena today. Alexander for Preston. Ooh, well, that was definitely out from Cartwright, just couldn't keep it in. Very hard ball played in from Alexander. 20.5 minutes gone here at the turf. Burnley 0, Preston North End 1. Jackson the scorer after just a minute and a half here. Another man down. It's Rob Edwards who's collapsed near the centre circle there. Cartwright's cross to the back post. It's a good one. Paul Cooke doesn't get there, but Ian Cox does for Burnley. And Paul Cooke's in again. A bullet from Rankin, which is over the top from Andy Rankin.
Good strike on goal there, David, by Mark Rankin, and OK, it only went into row K instead of row Z, but put the Clarets under a bit of pressure.
It's a shot from Mark Rankin there as Paul Crichton takes the goal kick for the Clarets. Cooke battling away, impeded by the referee again. Andy Cooke looks up to the sky and says, what have I done? But, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, as they say. The referee decides to give it against Andy Cooke. Lenny Johnrose. Here's Graham Branch. Played in for Wright, but Jackson got it first. Now here's Ian Wright once again. Good turn from Wright. Played it beautiful. It would have been a good ball in for Andy Cooke. But again, the Preston defence seemed to read that situation. Alexander plays it again. Cox heads it down for Burnley. Only to Mark Rankin. Rankin plays it forward. Chasing it is Basham. And Basham keeps it in. Above Ian Cox. And Basham's still in control here. Cartwright's first time ball in. It's a dangerous one. Oh, and it could have been in there. It was Jonathan Macken. It was Cartwright's right-sided cross. And really, it gave you a heart in your mouth situation.
Should have been two, simple as that, David. Ian Cox was a bit guilty. He was trying to usher the ball out of play, but he was dispossessed. Knocked it back, crossed straight over, power on it, and just over. That's a warning to Burnley if ever we needed. That could have been 2-0 to North End there, and then Burnley are climbing a mountain.
Yes, a bit of a... As you say, did well, did Basham to get it away from Ian Cox at that touchline. Resulted in an early ball from Cartwright, and, well, it was nearly a second for the visitors. Preston coming back into the game after some Burnley pressure on their goal mouth. Here's Cartwright again. Skips past Littler, left foot cross this time. Paul Cooke shoots off his right-sided boot, and Paul Cooke just comes away with the ball for the Clarets. But again, straight to Alexander of Preston. Johnrose picks it up for the Clarets, pushes it over to that far side. It's Dean West. I was trying to let Andy Cooke go in there, but it went wayward. Burnley, I will say, Burnley pick it up, but the referee awards Preston another free kick here.
And Ray Ternent, David, who's keeping the statistics today, he thinks that Preston haven't conceded yet.
That's unremarkable news. As Ian Wright's again up there with another Burnley man in Paul Cooke. Mark Rankin's in, and well, the Gopes. That was Lenny Johnrose into the book now, I feel. That's the second sort of strong challenge he's given. He got away with the first one. The second one, the Mr. Kirkby says, hey, up, you're in the book, lad.
I'm not so sure that was a strong challenge. It was just more like going for the ball, and he'd gone, yeah. And the referees have no alternative but to give it, David. They look more on the ball, don't they? They look more comfortable with it, and we're struggling just to find our men at the moment. And by now, like halfway through the first half, we should have settled perhaps a bit better than this.
Certainly should have, but it's a game of two halves. We've always said the last one against Wigan, you know, they go swing one way, then the other way, but at the moment it's just the pendulum towards the Lily Whites at the minute. A central position, midway inside the Burnley half. Free kick taken, Graham Branch heads it out, only half clears it. Alexander for Preston, again for Cartwright, gives it him back. Paul Cooke's back in defence again for the Clarets. And well played by Paul Cooke, gets a throw-in for Burnley. Rob Edwards, he was tripped. The referee says, just calm down a wee bit. Things getting a bit heated. I'd like the ball brought back, and let's take this free kick where the incident occurred. And this is exactly where the referee stood, and Graham Alexander, who will take this free kick for the visitors. Bright sunshine at Turf Moor, the ball played to the back post, but Cox is in there. And Davis gets a foot to it. Oh, there was two men having a go there. Mark Rankin was in. Michael Jackson just stabs it to the left-hand side. Oh, down it goes again. Another free kick, Team West. This time on Ian Anderson. Hey?
Thought that one was a bit harsh, David. But I tell you what, it's more like a home game to Preston in some respects, because they look more comfortable. They've had more possession. We've hardly been in their half, really. And we could do with really somebody again stamping their authority on the game in the best way. And over, David.
Ball played in again. Davis is up there for the Clarets. Again, Burnley, I'm going to say, failed to get it clear. Clarets have possession with Dean West on that far side. Plays it down the line for John Mullin to chase. Back to Tippy Moynihan, who kicks it to the halfway line. Nobody seems to want to get to the ball. Graham Branch has it in the centre circle for the Clarets. Electric pace he has, Graham Branch, who lays it left-hand side for Glen Little now. And Little looks round for support. Can he go alone? Right foot cross from Little to the back post. It's over everybody's head. It's a goal kick. And a spotter pushing in the box. And everything at the moment going against the Clarets. Free kicks and all the rest of it. Fouls. Yeah, Graham Branch always looks good going forward. Catches pigeons, doesn't he, Graham Branch? Remember, it was Preston last week who had a shock home defeat at the hands of Gillingham from Kent. And I hope this is not the backlash of what happened last week at Deepdale, but we'll have to see. Plenty of time left. Clarets in possession with Andy Cooke now. And Graham Branch latches onto this one again. Branch moving forward. Looks good when he goes forward, Graham Branch. Little operating left-hand side once again. Little weaves one way. He just couldn't get the crossing. He hasn't given up. He's still got the ball at his feet. Cooke, hard low on it. Sort of a half sort of cross. Half-hearted effort, I felt, from Paul Cooke. Perhaps he should have lifted it in the air there. And the ball runs through to Ian Cox, and Paul Crichton picks it up for Burnley. Well, not reaching the player's feet. Graham Branch again gives it to a white shirt. Cartwright picks it up here for Preston. That was Basham trying to get something out of that cross deep on this right-hand side for the visitors. Long ball for Wright, right into the area. Can he finish a header? He just couldn't get enough on it, but it was on target. He had to do something quick, and from 7 yards a header, which Tepe Moyes just had the opportunity to capture it.
Yeah, it was a good kick, wasn't it, David? We were saying, go on, keep going the ball. It's a good ball, he'll make it into a good ball. And he got onto the end of it, and I thought he were just going to drop down to him, but he just might have laid out with his left or his right and just topped it in. Instead, he chose to head. And that's a foul to Burnley, I'm thinking.
Our statsman, ex-Claret Ray Ternent, informs us that was Burnley's first real chance on goal. The only one they've had in the game so far. Fell to Ian Wright, and a free kick by Paul Cooke gives it plenty of air into the box. Looking for Little, that's a corner. Claret's first corner of the game then, on this near side. It'll be Glen Little to take it. Back post, oh, it's going to go out, surely. Yes, it has too much spin on that one. Wasted corner from Glen Little. And a goal kick for Preston. Things calming down a wee bit. Hit the half-hour mark here at Turf Moor. It's still Burnley 0, Preston 1. Jackson and a couple of minutes into the game for Preston. Another game unfolds at Turf Moor Tuesday, 7:45 kick-off against Luton Town here. And then Wrexham next Saturday at the racecourse. That's another away fixture. They're going to come thick and fast right now through till the beginning of May. And just a reminder that Preston have 5 more points than Burnley. Obviously, Clarets can get a win here. He's slightly reduced. Two men going up for that one, Johnrose and Cooke. Mullin plays it forward, but again it's Murdoch in the way. Murdoch again. Burnley really have to start stepping up a gear here as Branch plays it in for Johnrose. Johnrose takes it down on his chest. Johnrose to take him on, just can't get round the man Michael Jackson there. Branch has to go back pedalling as far as Paul Cooke on this near side. Little does well, breaks away from his marker, cross comes in, and Wright's up there! Oh, it's wide from Ian Wright, and what a great bit of football skill from Glen Little. Found the man, he applauds Glen Little, and so near, Terry, so near.
So near, David, and you're dead right. It was a good bit of skill by Glen Little, and I thought for one moment there that Ian Wright had notched and got on the score sheet, and it really seemed to hang there, and it was narrowly wide, but that's a bit more like it.
Stanton and Claret and Blue Army has got the fans going now. Let's see if they can motivate the team to go on and get the leveller here at Turf Moor. Pushing going on. Down in a heat. Rugby tackles. What's this going to be? Bounce up. Well, it's a man that likes tackling, Lenny Johnrose. Well, I thought he won that one, but in came Edwards. Preston have possession now. Cartwright again. Early substitute for Preston North End. Replaced Gregan. It's that man again. Alexander now plays it to the back post. Crichton comes and then goes back. A little too strong as the ball spins out of play on that far side. Here's Michael Jackson. Macken plays it to the right-hand side. Alexander plays a good ball down again. Macken to take it. Rankin quick, swift passing from Preston. And this is Cartwright. Rankin again, edge of the area, gets himself a corner. Good, swift passing from Preston. They look on the ball, it must be said, in this first half.
Yeah, good interchange of play, wasn't it? And the ball down the line, and the forward coming out wide, from the middle, out wide, makes it a nice ball down the line. Corner.
Another corner to Preston as Edwards takes it to the near post. Graham Branch was in there. It's 2 in a row for the visitors. Well, I'm glad they don't leave me to do the decisions. I thought I'd give them a corner, but it's Paul Crichton's turn to kick. Goal kick given as Crichton takes it as the sun just dips away on this very cold March afternoon. A Lancashire derby which is full of thrills and spills as Little picks it up for the Clarets. Early ball in, looking for Wright. Oh, and he couldn't get there. But look, Andy Cooke can he get the ball across? Ball bouncing awkwardly. Good grief. Straight to a Preston defender. And really, the assistant giving it against the Clarets. And one wonders, will Burnley score before the break, Terry?
Good question. I thought that was a chance, David, there. It just was coming down high and dropping, and just needed a Claret to toe poke it in. I think the referee and the linesman got that one wrong, David, according to all the people on the long side. Cox just puts it out for a throw into Preston.
It's coming up to 36 minutes, live commentary from Turf Moor. It's Burnley versus Preston. As Jackson hoists it high in the sky. Cox gets in for Burnley. Little traps it. Does well. Bit of body swerving from Glen Little. Over for Dean West, who's in the side today for the absent Mitchell Thomas. Out through suspension, of course. And Murdoch under a bit of pressure from Andy Cooke, and Murdoch puts it out.
Well done, Cooke, David. Defended well from the front there, and wins a throw-in for his side.
Throw-in eventually taken back for Steve Davis. West gets it back from him, and Mullin tries to. It's all the free kicks seem to be going all Preston's way at the moment. The referee, Mr. Kirkby, again giving Preston another one. Just to tell you about the subs for the Clarets in case you missed it earlier: Ronnie Jepson, Paul Smith, Mickey Mellon, Chris Brass, and Martin Robertson for Burnley. Edwards. Good challenge from Andy Cooke. Paul Cooke tries to get Andy Cooke going again, but fails to do so on that occasion. Edwards plays it forward again for Preston. Oops. The dive. Dean West could be in trouble here. Has he been booked?
No. Yeah, he has, but I don't think it was a foul, David. I think he's going to send him off. It's a red. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Because I think the Preston player sort of flung himself, David. The first tackle, yes, when he was burnt, we thought, yeah, the referee's going to have his name. And then again, right, we'll say it, David, we'll tempt fate. We saw the incident against Bristol Rovers. OK, we're 1-0 down now, but now we're going to be 1-0 down again. Yeah, down to 10. Let's see if history strikes twice. No, you've got to lift yourself up from there, David, because he'll think he's sent off there most unfairly. And the player seemed to fling himself, David. That's one I'd like to see again. So we've got it all to do now, as they say.
That's another Burnley player off for an early bath. I think it's a wee bit unfortunate, Dean West, as Terry said. It was Ian Anderson who perhaps thought made a meal of it. He did catch him, but once you've been booked, of course, you've got to be very, very careful. It virtually means you can't put in a strong challenge or any sort of a challenge once you've been booked so early on in the game. It's just what's happened to Dean West. He's gone in for an early bath, and I think Stan and Sam will have to rearrange the troops now.
It's really stand up and be counted time, David.
The ball played in. It's Macken as Paul Cooke for Burnley comes away with it. Andy Cooke plays it up for John Mullin now. John Mullin on that right-hand side. Got some pace with him, John Mullin, as he cuts inside. Oh, and it's gone to a Preston man. The ball played high in the sky again into the Burnley half. Cox heads down for Branch. Branch looks for options on this near side for Burnley. Over the head of Alexander. Now Little on the left-hand side. Cross comes in, and Wright just can't get hold of it. He just couldn't get it. A first-time effort from Ian Wright. And unfortunately for him and for Burnley, it's wide of the upright.
Good play originally from John Mullin. Strong run, determined run. In the end, crowded out, but it came through to Branchy, and Branchy played a delightful chip over straight into the path of Glen Little. Gets the ball in. First-time effort by Wright. They've got him before from that position.
Yes, as Ray would always say, prefers Glen on the right-hand side. So far, he's done the first half on the left. He's done OK, but I think what Ray's saying, he could do better on the right-hand side. But that's the manager's tactics at the moment. Preston in possession. Alexander here. Just nice ball laid in here for Cartwright. Johnrose it was again in. It concedes a corner from Johnrose's tackle. Preston's fourth corner of the game so far. 5 minutes to go before the break. A bit of stoppage time for the incidents, the injuries, the sending-offs, you name it. Corner from Edwards. Crichton punches. Macken, whoa. Rather high in the sky, hit it on the volley, and it whistled into the Preston fans in the cricket field stand there.
And determination just showing there on Mark Rankin, David, while the rest of the team were up attacking that corner. He'd held the midfield and he waved everybody back, said, come on, let's defend now. So they want to go in with a clean sheet at half-time.
It's Wright, who's on his own at the moment, trying to battle his way through all those Preston players. Steve Davis. But again, out by Murdoch. Here's Rankin, good ball, well cut out by Ian Cox of Burnley. Steve Davis picks it up for the Clarets. And Davis having to wonder which way to go this time. It's left-hand side once again for Burnley. It's Graham Branch with two men homing in on him. Davis finds a ball at his feet again, plays a long ball for Wright. It's perhaps too long, offside as the assistant on the near side puts up his flag. Just to the side of Bertie B there, who we suspect is somebody else. A lot of Preston's moves coming from this right-hand side with Alexandra and Cartwright linking up very well for the visitors. Jackson moving forward for the visitors now. Cooke gets in. Now then, Ian Wright. I think it came a bit of a surprise to Wright, who got the ball at his feet there. Johnrose gives it for Mullin, and Mullin again for Johnrose. Trying to turn his man, Johnrose, and it's a Claret ball. This time coming off Ryan Kidd. And now Burnley reduced to 10 men, of course, the departure of Burnley fullback Dean West, who's only just come back into the side. Replacing Mitchell Thomas, and he's gone for an early bath. Here's John Mullin now, but again he'll run into Ryan Kidd, and Kidd keeps it in. Davis, Johnrose once again for Burnley, for Cooke, but Murdoch's there again. And what's going on now? Another booking. So another booking, and another Burnley player goes into Mr. Kirkby's notebook. This time it's the captain. Correction, it's John Mullin. I think it was Steve Davis sort of coming to John Mullin's defence there, and the referee certainly dishing out the yellow cards on the Clarets. Wanting them to take the free kick then for the visitors. A couple of minutes left of the normal time as the sun creeps out once again here at the turf. Centre half to centre half, Davis to Jackson, but Ryan Kidd can't keep it in on that occasion. And Burnley get a level before the break. Claims for handball, and that looked given, but there was a push on the man, so the Clarets have a chance now to push up. Steve Davis is up before the break.
Only 4 minutes of added time. 4 minutes of added time.
That was the man on the public address, Ian Bannister, saying 4 minutes of added time here in the first half. Glen Little plays it in, but it's a bad one. It goes to Rankin, who, much to his surprise, he kicks it into the Bob Lord stand. Clarets have a throw-in. Burnley will have to get things moving in the second half, because this game will quickly run away from them. It's Johnrose down by the corner flag, and it goes to the visitors, and all the Burnley troops go back into their own half. And not even the ball boys want to give the ball back at the moment. It's going to be a throw-in to Preston. Lily Whites have that 1-0 lead. The Clarets in possession. Wright, oh, that was a foul. Good move from Ian Wright, and free kick then straight into Ian Wright there. No doubt about that, obstruction.
And there's no doubt about it, David, we could do with one before half-time, because if we get out to jail time if we did.
It certainly would. The fans are on the edge of the seats. The ball played in. Tippy Moynihan punched it. Little shot! And it's wide from Glen Little again. And you just sometimes hope and pray that you can see that ball hit the back of the net, but on that occasion, once again, it didn't.
I think there's no doubt about it, David, that they've been the better side in the first half. You've got to be the most, what's the word, claret and blue eyes, you know, the most biased on the turf to think that we've played well in the first half. I don't think we have. I think where we're missing it is that we haven't really given the forward players any sort of service whatsoever. They have.
Certainly have. They've done well down this near side, Preston, and Burnley, for my money anyway, Glen Little on the left is not as effective on the left as he is on the right, although he has done well, it must be said. And that's a handball. I don't believe the referee. The referee, well, blatant handball, and he said it was his leg.
I don't think even the most biased North End fan, David, would have argued if the referee had given that handball. I really didn't say that, I'll never know.
Amazing. Paul Cooke just stabs it in for Little. Then Little trying to move out there, runs straight into trouble. Well, he certainly gave that, Mr. Kirkby, and Johnrose still having words with the referee. A free kick to the Clarets as we approach the half-time break here. But again, it's not a good ball from Paul Cooke. Paul Cooke's distribution this afternoon has not been unsung. And usually when he does, Burnley tick. Cooke plays it in with the throw-in. He'll get this back. He'll let it go. As Paul Cooke last year at this time made his debut on loan from Stockport against Preston, and Burnley the better side that day, and Preston took the 3 points, and it was Kurt Nogan who scored the goal. Remember, from that nearly from the corner flag, in fact, the forgotten man, Kurt Nogan. And Paul Cooke throws it in again. Little's in possession. Cook's first time cross comes into the back post, but the goalkeeper collects well with his cap.
Well, it's a good job off the microphone remarks there weren't picked up, David, because it was up in there, it was clean, he was falling over backwards, a crowd of players, and the referee says they're a bit of pushing.
Yeah, Yeah, I thought he took that well. There were no real pressure on him. But the referee obviously has other ideas. And there goes the half-time whistle. The fans very, very disappointed with the official. Second half to come. They trail by a goal to nil, but Burnley will have to step up a gear, Terry. Ray Ternent, just have a quick word about the first half. Very disappointing.
Well, I was on behalf of Burnley's point of view, but I think that Preston are full value for the 1-0 lead. And they've kept it calm, played it around, and really the ball's been played mostly in Burnley's half, to be honest. And I think they're full value for the lead. I'm sorry to say, but I think that's the full story of it. Because they are a good side and they can play it around, and they've kept their cool head. And Burnley have lost theirs once or twice. You could see the Dean West situation developing, and obviously he got himself sent off. I didn't think it was a send-off offence, but obviously he did for the second offence.
Just going to say that a substitute's been made by Burnley. It's going to be Chris Brass who comes on. And I think Graham Branch is... Oh, Cooke is off, is he? Graham Branch has come off. I know he hasn't. Paul Cooke has... Yes, Andy Cooke, I do beg your pardon, that's gone off. Chris Brass has come on to replace him. As we expected, Glen Little lining up on the right-hand side now to feed the ammunition for Ian Wright. Graham Branch over on that left-hand side. And Davis and Brass, of course, in the heart of the Burnley defence. He actually hasn't played for some time after losing his place early on in the campaign. Wright finds Mullin. And Johnrose on the far side for Burnley, stabs it forward. Branch was trying to get Wright going again, but it didn't happen. As Davis plays it up, Graham Branch and Wright. Just perhaps I thought it was a wee bit short there for Paul Cooke. 2 men on him. Well, the assistant's flagging on that far side, a foul on Paul Cooke. Well, there's certainly officials spotted that one. After not a lot was spotted in the first half, it must be said.
We got it right, David, didn't we? Talking about what Stanwood changes he would make at the break, and we got it right. We read it right with Brassy coming on, etc. Could do with a goal early on.
Just as Preston did in the first half. Let's see if the Clarets can get one back and get it back now. Still a bit of music going in the background as Paul Cooke plays it in. Branch gets a touch, I fear, just a touch on the top of his head. It's Ian Cox on this right-hand side now. He's got Johnrose in support. He's going to cross it with his left foot, but again, Cartwright was in the way for Preston. Basham and Mullin in the back of Steve Basham, but it was Mullin who was allegedly bashing Basham. Allegedly. Still music continues to play. Must be playing to a bit of pop music as Johnrose picks it up for Burnley. Ian Cox now on the far side. Good ball in for Graham Branch on the halfway line. Branch can't control it. Rankin picks it up for the visitors. Alexander now. Referee's in the way, thank you very much. It's John Mullin now, raiding. Oh, a foot comes out. Now, sort it out, lads. Branch. Dispossessed. Cooke gives it in back. Chance again for Branch. Cooke, Paul Cooke. Alexander puts the ball out for Preston, giving Clarets a throw in over on that far side. Tippy takes the ball, Tippy Moynihan. And now a chance to settle down for this second half here at Turf Moor as Moynihan kicks into the now cloudy sky, and Davis for Burnley heads forward. Cartwright picks it up for Preston. Paul Cooke's quickly in on him though. Cool play from Paul Cooke. Steve Davis, not the quickest centre-back, but a quick thinker. Long ball, Jackson to chase it, no Claret up. Wright's racing for that one for the Clarets, but Jackson holds it up on that far side touchline. Cartwright plays it back. Alexander plays it forward for Preston. And Chris Brass's first touch of the game for Burnley. Back for Paul Crichton, a left foot kick from him, right up to the halfway line. Mullin was certainly battling away with the centre number 15, Edwards. Crichton gives it a good kick down towards that cricket field stand where Burnley are attacking in this second half. Ian Anderson quickly and on little dispossessed the tall winger for Burnley, and a chance on here. Chris Brass has got the pace as well, remember. Haven't seen too much of him, but he surely kept himself fit whilst he's been playing reserve team football for Burnley. Branch inside for Cooke. Cooke lays it off here for Johnrose. Little with a crowd of Preston players around him. Back to the halfway line. Cox gives it away. Anderson twists and turns, plays it forward. The assistant's flagging. Free kick to the Clarets. Offside Preston. Crichton right out of his goal mouth to take this Burnley free kick then. Lofts it to the edge of the area, looking for Wright, too high for him, and Johnrose just let that roll a bit. Chris Brass, Little, nod down for Mullin. Oh, and just running into the defender there, but Little on this right-hand side. This is where we like to see him operate. Little does well, brilliantly well from Little, to the byline, pulls it back, and Paul Cooke couldn't get there, and that was a brilliant bit of wing play again from Glen Little, but a counter-attack on for Preston, but Brass will get there. Back for Crichton, and we just saw there, Terry, what we've been talking about. It looks so easy on the right for Glen.
Yeah, it does. He squirmed into the box, didn't it, David? But twice we've seen something which has pleased me a bit, and that's Brass's pace there. More than enough for them, and pace on him. Gets back covered, and I think we just needed that injection of pace at the back. But as you said, Glen there, he had the skill, wriggled into the box.
Cut out by Ian Cox of Burnley. And away comes Cox up to the halfway line, dispossessed right on that halfway line there as Burnley attempt to get back possession. Preston have it at the moment with Ryan Kidd here for Ian Anderson. That one, will it stop in? It's out. So Jonathan Macken not unable to capture that ball as it frantically ran away on this near side. Little plays it long down the right-hand side. Ian Wright looks for it. Preston have it once again. Overhead kick from Anderson. Means that Clarets have a throw-in. Six minutes gone already. Time flies when you're trailing by 1-0. Wright can't get into this. Service has got to be a wee bit better for Ian Wright. Brass again here, trying to stake a claim on a position in the Burnley lineup. Crichton gives it a good kick, gets it out of play. No nonsense from Paul Crichton in a tight situation. Basham. Rankin, a good return from Rankin to Basham, and a great challenge from Chris Brass. Good tackle there from Chris Brass.
And it needed to be a good tackle, didn't it? Because he just got through, and Rankin played well, just let him in there, and Chris Brass just quick enough and had his edge screwed on. He's got to be a perfectly timed challenge, otherwise he goes down in the box, and we know what our Mr. Kirkby does. Corner.
Yes, we certainly do. The corner comes in. Back post. Crichton, well, he just got a... didn't, yes he did, because Mr. Kirkby says it's a corner to Preston. 2 in a row again for Preston in the second half. It's going to be Rob Edwards to take it for the visitors. Only one man really up there, it's Ian Wright, as Preston take their dead ball situation here. Johnrose tackles again. North End have a throw-in right adjacent the Burnley penalty area, but it's a short one. Oops. There's a foul, Bragg down, and the handbag starting at 10 paces. Lenny Johnrose says cool it down, and reaction from Glen.
Yes, the thing is, David, he fouled him. I nearly said fouled him fairly, but he fouled him, yeah, and that was sufficient. He was going to get the free kick, but then he sort of dragged him and held him back, and Glen was having none of it, and sort of kicked out to get released. And Mr. Anderson joins the rest of the bookings up to now, and he's in the booth, so he's got to watch it. It's amazing. A booking of their players, and the crowd are up for it again.
Yeah, Anderson making doubly sure that Glen Little didn't carry on. The referee, as Terry said, had already given the free kick, so nonsense there from Anderson, who goes into Mr. Kirkby's long list of bookings. Davis heads forward for the Clarets. That ball runs out. Let's have the ball back. We can take a quickly taken throw in perhaps. Paul Cooke leaving it this time for Steve Davis, and Davis looking for where he's going to launch this one down the right hand side for Glen, but again Anderson's in the way for Preston. Good play from Rob Edwards, gets it high in the sky. Basham in. Paul Cooke now just the front of Macken, and Burnley still seem to be huffing and puffing here, but they're still in possession. Paul Cooke, can he give the service to Wright? Hits him on the back. The ball, which was going to be nicely weighted. The fans in the Jimmy McIlroy stand, well, they saw a push, perhaps, and down went Wright. And a chance for Anderson! Oh, now shot wide of the upright far post. And Paul Crichton was watching that one fizz past him.
The booking hasn't affected Anderson, Davey, because I thought in the first half he looked a useful player. But there he just took it between the two Clarets, saw the side to go, let fly first time, narrowly wide.
Anderson again offside, linesman system, whatever you want to call him. Up goes the flag. Free kick to the Clarets then. Ten minutes gone here at Turf Moor, as Burnley attempted to creep back into this game to get that all-important leveller. Good header on from Little to Mullin. Mullin into the box. He needs support here. He's in a tight situation, and Little provides that support for the Clarets. Twists one way. Little, can he get past his marker? He usually can. He's done it. A brilliant cross, back post. Alexander puts it out for a corner. Again, Glen Little doing the business at Turf Moor in this second half. First corner of the half for the Claret. Good play between John Mullin, and held it up and back to Glen, who teased him. Open for a lunge in. Corner, first one of the second half. Crowd going again. Cooke with the corner then, right in the heart of the Preston defence. Davis heads down. Anderson clears it for Preston. And now a chance here for Little. A good cross is called for. Preston man got to the end of it. Graham Brand sweeps it out to Cooke. Cooke hammers it in. Well, it could have gone anywhere, but it wasn't the type of cross we were expecting from Paul Cooke, and I think he knows it. Alexander plays it long for Preston. And the linesman on the near side, like a guardsman on an express train, lifts his flag aloft at Turf Moor. Free kick to the Clarets. Crichton's up in a yellow shirt to take it.
And we've just seen more, David, in the last few minutes than we did really in the whole of the first half was in attacking force. Lenny Johnrose.
Johnrose gets past his marker into the box. Another corner. So things starting to kick for Burnley. They're in their fourth gear now, I would think. And we need a goal.
And a suspicion of a free kick on Johnrose, I'm thinking, David.
Yes, the referee played advantage. Cooke's corner comes in. But again, oh, the referee's blown again. How frustrating for the Claret supporters. Burnley just starting to kick in here. Remember, they're down to 10 men. Dean West got his marching orders in the first half. Moylan to take the free kick for Preston. Davis is up for the Clarets. Little. Back here for Paul Crichton. Steve Basham looks on as Crichton kicks it past the halfway line. Ian Cox chasing that one with Macken. And Cox does well. He gets, well, he did. Now then, the electric pace of Graham Branch. He can catch pigeons, but he got to get the ball across. Corner.
Just a bit short of forwards, David, because we've just had Ian Wright over and John Miller's doing his best to support from midfield, but we look a bit short in the box.
Another corner to the Clarets as Cooke again takes it for the Clarets, and Davis is up there. Anderson heads away. Mullin onto the left-hand side. Cooke plays it first time in once again. A ruck of players in that centre. Mullin shot left foot. Well, it's hit a Preston defender on the way through, and Cooke plays it up again for the Clarets. Claims again not given. And Preston on a counter-attack here. It's Rankin for the visitors. A good ball through. It's going to be Anderson. Oh, and a good save from Crichton. Brilliant save from the Burnley goalkeeper. Well, what can you say about that, Terry? Brilliant from Crichton.
Paid for his wages there, David, because at one stage did 4 on 2, and I thought they might get a bit over-enthusiastic, run themselves offside, but they didn't. They held the line well, did Burnley, and a good save by Crichton, and a clearance by Brass.
Well, that was a chance there for Preston. I think it was Macken, actually. A trip on John Mullin. Free kick again. Outraged Burnley fans all get to their feet there for that one. Free kick quickly taken by Steve Davis. Again, can't get the service to Wright. Here's John Mullin for Burnley. Johnrose. Square ball in for Little now. Little got to find some space to operate. He hasn't given up at ball. Ricochets over to Tepe Mullin, and he kicks as the floodlights come on at Turf Moor in the second half here. Still Burnley 0, Preston North End 1 in a top of the table clash here at Turf Moor, Nationwide League Division 2. Anderson. Paul Cooke heads it out. Macken on that far side, in for Cartwright. Cartwright crosses, Davis heads away. Cartwright gets a second bite, plays it in, and the referee gives a corner. A corner to Preston over on that far side then, and Preston having their share of the attack at the moment. Third corner for them in the second half. As always, it's going to be Rob Edwards to take it. Jackson's up for this one. He's scorer of the only goal of the game. Branch gets a flick on, comes right across the 18-yard area, and Ian Cox will just take this one in his stride on the Burnley right. To Wright, Ian Wright. He can't get the ball for Mullin. Just wonder whether Burnley fans will get to see the former favourite on the bench today for Preston. That's David Ayres. One-time Blackpool and Burnley man, and 36-year-old who may come on the pitch.
I'll ask you, David, what's the free kick for?
Well, I've got to say I don't know, but I'm not an official. Crichton takes the kick for the Clarets. Mullin gets up. wonders which way to get that ball. And Paul Cooke eventually, oh, it's just going to go over the head of Alexander, but it didn't. Cartwright's in there. Mark Rankin plays it left-hand side for Anderson now. As the troops come forward for the Lily Whites, the Clarets on the defensive. Anderson, a deflection over the top, corner to Preston. Number 4 for them in the second half. My word.
Yeah, Cooke did it well, David, because he forced him to the outside there. He said, no way you're coming inside and plus. We forced him outside and managed to block the cross-come shot for a corner. This is their 4th, I think, of the second half. We've had 3. But they're now looking to, it is on the break, aren't they? Because twice we've been caught short.
Yeah, it does sound bad, caught short. We've all been caught short, but not in a football match. It's on the left-hand side. It's a corner to Preston. Alexander takes it. Back post it is. Goal kick. Preston man got his head to that. And the pressure's off the Clarets at the moment. They've got to get back into this game. It's Preston, a very well-organised defence, or it seems so today. They're not in second place for nothing, of course. Remember, 5 points ahead of Burnley. It will all be so different should Burnley manage to take the 3 points off them here this afternoon. Steve Davis. Ian Wright. Good play for Mullin, but an opportune time to fall on the ball, and consequently he's dispossessed. It's Edwards that took it away from him, and Preston again come flying over on that far side with Macken. Macken's cross. Oh, a shot which was bouncing awfully wrong for Steve Basham, who over the Paul Crichton's bar. And yeah, a substitute, the second one for Burnley. It looks like 2 actually. John Mullin's coming off, Paul Cooke's coming off, and replacing those 2 lads, I think it's Mickey Mellon and Paul Smith as well. So Mickey Mellon, who set the stage alight against Blackpool, and he's another forgotten man at Turf Moor. Lenny Johnrose has took his position up in midfield, but a chance for him to get back into the line-up, if you like, and perhaps score a goal here. Let's hope for that, shall we? As Crichton comes flying out and kicks it. Still in play, but it's out now. It's a Claret ball.
Should have been a Preston ball, David, because he headed it off the back of Ian Wright, and he was the last man to touch it. Mickey Mellon, can he do it against his other? Oh! Yeah, a bit like the Blackpool game, that's what we want.
Don't come much better than that goal against Blackpool for Mickey Mellon. Can get long enough to get into his stride, who knows. Paul Smith gets his first touch, but Rankin plays it forward for Preston. Chris Brass on that far side, just to let that ball trickle out of play. It's 20 minutes in the second half, already gone. Jackson plays it forward for Preston. Brass plays it out. Wasn't a good clearance as it happened. Now here's Basham. Basham shot straight into the arms of Paul Crichton, stood central on his 6-yard line there. Edwards to Rankin, and Rankin down the inside right channel. Well cut out by Paul Smith. Foul on Paul Smith. The referee acknowledges that. Quickly taken free kick. Johnrose over to this right-hand side. It's Glen Little. And there's 2 men looking to come upon Glen Little, but he decides to cut inside for Mickey Mellon, and Paul Smith well on his own. Could have been a bit quicker there. Davis plays it in for Branch, and Branch on the left-hand side now for Paul Smith. First time ball from Smith. It's a good one. And Moynihan took it, the last gasp effort in his 6-yard box, but an early ball from Paul Smith, renowned for his good kicking on the left-hand side for the Clarets. Over the head of Macken. Cox has it under control, leaves it for Paul Crichton.
Cracking ball in, David, by Paul Smith, wasn't it? If it hadn't been 6'5" of great fin, I think, not a great day in there. Plucked it out of air, but it was a dangerous cross by Paul Smith, and we need more of those, David, because we need the service to Ian Wright up front in the 18-yard box. That's where we're going to do the damage. And when you look round at the Burnley side, you think, where's the goal going to come from? And I always look at that, and you just can't see it, can you? You can't see it happening.
Well, Rankin gets it away, and Burnley haven't given up the ghost. The referee doesn't give anything there, but a chance on here for Preston North End. It's Anderson, edge of the area, lets it on the right-hand side. Well, it may have looked to go from that cricket field stand, but it was in the side netting. Mullin now for Burnley. Little. Good challenge again on Glen Little. That was from Ryan Kidd. Johnrose's control is poor, but he ends up winning a free kick. Rob Edwards literally holding him down, and a booking for Rob Edwards. Another one to the list of Mr. Kirkby. We've had a few of these today, Terry.
And he's just asked his assistant, David, for a pencil sharpener.
Because he's certainly made a note of everybody bar the dog on the field here. The duck and the dog, and the bee. Vital for a good cross here from Mickey Mullin. Must keep the pressure on this Preston defence now as Mickey Mullin to take this free kick for the Clarets. Goalkeeper's coming, gone back. That was Johnrose back at the far post, who heads over. A good cross it was from Mickey Mullin on this right-hand side for Burnley.
And another good ball in, David. That's two in a row. Perhaps there's something coming, but I still can't see us getting one today somehow. It's just one of those things, you just don't see a goal coming. But as I said, you know, a bit from Branshy, a bit from Smithy, from Glen, perhaps. But Ian Wright's had no service, has he?
No, it must be said, he has struggled to get the service from the Burnley midfielders, wingers, if you like, but Little has had a few chances, good range down the right-hand side, right to the byline, but Burnley haven't been able to cash in, and Preston again come forward. Macken, Davis gets the challenge in, and it falls to Glen Little, leaves it for Mickey Mullin, and Mullin again, left-hand side for Paul Smith. Davis tries to bend one forward, looking again, aiming, thinking for Ian Wright. Rob Edwards now prompts it forward. Brass is in the way, good header down for Paul Smith. Johnrose, can he keep hold of it here? He needs, it's taken off him. But again, it's back with Davis, the Burnley centre-back, plays it forward. Graham Branch, but Jackson gets his head in the way at a vital moment for Preston. Rankin. Burnley again pump it forward with Davis. Headed out by Murdoch. And North End come forward again. It's some good news here for Anderson. He shoots, a good save again from Crichton. And now a chance for Macken. And that's the second for Preston North End. It's such a shame because Paul Crichton had done well against Anderson. It fell very, very kindly to Macken, who was following it up. And I can think, well, Terry, that's about it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, two bites of the cherry they had, David. Anderson first time. Then Macken hits it right into the corner. Great save first by Crichton, but that's leaving ourselves stretched to the back. And that's silence for Turf Moor faithful at the moment. A mountain to climb, I said, after the first goal, and down to 10 men. Well, it's an Everest now.
It's always difficult with 10 men. You were 1-0 down to start with. It's not so bad a situation as nil apiece, but there it is. Macken gets the second for the visitors, and well, they are second. They've been top of Division 2. It's all gone so wrong this afternoon.
Just before the goal, David, we'd seen two occasions where the Clarets were just a bit short and they were really pushing the men forward, and Macken, the ball did fall well to him, but he made no mistake. He still had to put it in, and put it in he did. And there's only one quarter of Turf Moor shouting now, and that's the Deepdale faithful in the cricket field stand. I've just asked Ray if we can see any comeback from this. Ray, can you see us coming back?
To be quite honest, Terry, no. I think they're too well organised at Preston. And David Moyes has certainly got a good set of lads here. I can't see any way back for Burnley from this situation, to be honest. They're playing too well at Preston. Control football, and they know what they're doing, and they're just biding their time, and of course the second goal's come as it has done, and I can't see any way back for Burnley.
All right, Ray, I think Preston are doing to what we've done to them last Saturday when Gillingham beat them at Deepdale. Remember that scoreline with a 4 o'clock kickoff? They got 2 goals, did Gillingham, and they sat back, and Preston were frustrated. I think Burnley are going to be just the same, frustrated this afternoon. But 10 men, it is always difficult. Raising your game, that's always difficult, but it does happen. Here's Cox for the Clarets. Never say die attitude, they can still pull one back. Chris Brass puts it onto the left-hand side of Paul Smith. Second half substitute for the Clarets. Skips past his man well. Cross comes, it's a good one from Smith. And Branch can't get there. Davis is up there. Back post, the goalkeeper punches, but doesn't punch to a Claret. Mullin! And he hits it into the Preston fans at the cricket field stand. But he had to shoot, they had to go. When Wright was going to burst the net for the Clarets. So great to see him score, it really would. His 3rd game for Burnley since come down from Celtic. As free kick, I thought that was going to be given. The sort of a late decision from the referee, Mr. Kirkby from Sheffield. He's really had his work cut out with his pencil this afternoon, with a sending off and umpteen bookings. And that sending off was Dean West, of course, which is not nice. We had Andy Payton sent off here against Bristol Rovers, but Burnley managed to overcome the Pirates on that afternoon. But it's a different ball game today. Another booking. This is Paul Smith, who's only been on the field about 10 minutes. He's going to get a booking for Mr. Kirk. In goes Paul Smith then.
Frustration, David, isn't it? You know, you've been on, you've had a couple of crosses and just a lunge, and it's a careless lunge, really. And I think there's a Preston substitute now.
Yeah, Preston are bringing on a sub, and it's the former favourite here. Got to say, one of my former favourites, David Ayres. It's going to be Ian Anderson to come off the field. He's played very well, to be honest. Perhaps they're saving him for another day.
Substitution for Preston. The player coming on is number 11, David Ayres.
Great reception for David Ayres. Makes you wonder why we ever let him go to it.
Managers have difference of opinions, David. Some think he's not mine and whatever, but he's always been a favourite here, and that reception just marks him out. And really, it looks like our heads have gone down. But you've got to keep going, haven't you? Because, you know, you can get a goal out of just anything, a penalty or whatever, and then you fight up for the last 5 minutes, and who knows, like now.
It's dispossession time as Johnrose got dispossessed there. Preston coming forward looking for a third here, and that's the third one. Well, I said they were looking, I didn't think they'd get it, and that's game, set and match. Rob Edwards makes the scoreline rather embarrassingly. Burnley 0, Preston North End 3.
And the thing is, David, it was a goal really out of nothing, that the ball landed at his feet, took it on a bit, had a look up from great distance, what is it, 25 yards or something, and it didn't look like it struck it with awesome power, but it just banged the corner and eluded the grasp and the diving of Paul Crichton. I think it's right now, it's time to, what we happen to do now is to be embarrassed by it and make it in a, you know, they carry on and get 4 or 5, and it's your confidence is zapped for weeks to come.
Well, Stan Turner said there would be some downs on the way, some hiccups, but they've got to bounce back. He didn't really think it'd be against Preston, but it certainly turned out that way this afternoon. Johnrose gives it back for Paul Smith. Burnley have got to keep coming forward here. To keep going until the very, very last whistle. Rankin plays it down to nowhere. I mean, Rob Edwards, I think, you know, just come nonchalantly forward, hit one hard and low, and past Paul Crichton. There's Chris Brass in the way of Steve Basham, and Brass plays it up to the halfway line.
Yeah, David, Ian Wright's on a run. Oh, just under it. An offside, I think, given. But if you have two bad performances in a season, you know, you can count the game at Bury. I think it was on Boxing Day where we went down 4-2. Perhaps this one, and when the season comes to an end, you know, the one bad one at home, the one bad one away, perhaps it's this. Who knows? But the manager would say there's still a lot to play for. There's still, what, a dozen games or something, 36 points in the bag, at least 36 to play for. And the two, I think, were always going to be the Gillingham games, the big games.
Yeah, a couple of games against Gillingham, of course, home and away for Burnley. And there is a long way to go, but it makes it all that harder because Preston had 5 points clear of the Clarets. Now there'll be 8 points clear, and so on and so on. And you've got till the first week in May when it's all decided. But I think, you know, playoffs has always been the thing to look for. But I said this last year at this time, we were going to be in the playoffs. You just said what a good do, and I think you've got to think the same way. Ball played in again, header over the top. The fact is, it's Macken, it's header over there, but the expectation at Burnley has always been high. You've heard the managers say it, you've heard the players say it, and it'll never ever cease. We've seen this now, 22,000, it's amazing.
Yeah, and the thing is, David, that sometimes, you know, you're on the end of the defeat. I think we can safely say that now. But you've got a short space of time to put it right. The game on Tuesday, you say, right, we get out there on Tuesday, 3 bounce back, that's the situation, that's what you've got to always look for. And let's hope we can bounce back on Tuesday.
Yeah, and I think Burnley will, playing Luton, of course, Tuesday, 7:45 kick-off. We'll be here, if you will, as well. Here's Lenny Johnrose. He plays it the right-hand side for Glen Little. Glen Little looks again, 2 men quickly around him. They know about Glen Little, although he hasn't been able to really do the honours today. Johnrose gives it in back. Little chips it in now. Mickey Mellon, can he? Tippy Moynihan comes out to collect it. And it's been an easy ride for the Preston goalkeeper this afternoon, as Burnley are staring at this one as a defeat. Ayres just plays it off for Edwards. Edwards been a big influence since he joined Preston, a good player. He plays it long this time. Steve Davis just to the...
This afternoon's attendance, ladies and gentlemen, 22,310.
22,310 spectators at Turf Moor, witnessing a Clarets defeat, which has been known to happen in the past. It does happen when you get a big attendance, a big occasion, but I think Preston have, well, as Terry said, had the edge right from the kick-off, and then, of course, losing a man does not help.
No, if games change on incidents, you know, you've got to say, well, the early goal, first 2 or 3 minutes, and the sending off incident. The third one, I can forget the third one. It's 2-0, really, yeah.
Can I just have a message from Lancashire Police? Can the Preston supporters who travel to Turf Moor by coach please remain in the ground for 10 minutes after the game while your coaches are going round to the stand for you? If the Preston supporters who travel to Turf Moor by coach can please wait in the stand.
Little plays it in. Davis goes up there.
Thank you.
And what a difference from last week at Layer Road when Burnley marched out 2 winners against Colchester, and Colchester themselves have been on a 5-match unbeaten run. Cannot predict football. There was Brass's header, free kick for Burnley. 37 minutes gone here. A lot of the fans have vacated the James Hargreaves stand just below us. They were up for this one, and the Jimmy McElroy or McElroy stand. Oh, spectacular effort. You've got to try something in front of goal. Nice to see an old ex-Claret here today. We talked about him at half-time. I wasn't there, but Brian O'Neill, Terry. If he'd have played for a big city club, perhaps he'd have been an England player.
Doesn't bear thinking about, David, that he never won a cap. But Ray was saying he was at dinner with him last night. He's up from Southampton, I think, is Brian O'Neill, where he lives now. And he said round the table, in modern day amounts, it was about £40 million worth of talent sitting round the table in today's terms. That's not to be. Let's get back to today's match, David. I don't want it to be embarrassing. In fact, that's a foul. And Lenny Johnrose has got to be careful now.
Yeah, because he's gone into the Mr. Kirkby's A4 of bookings, A4 foolscap of bookings. Yeah, we easier perhaps to say who hasn't got booked here this afternoon for both sides, as Steve Davis now picks it up for the Clarets. Captain, up for Wright, who hasn't given up the goals. Oh, it's claim for handball, is it? What's that? A nudge in the back? I don't know. But whatever it is, the referee's given it towards Burnley. Free kick taken. Ian Cox has come up to join the attack here. Oh dear. David Ayres going into Glen Little. Good ball from Ryan Kidd, but Steve Davis for Burnley quick into the action, and Paul Smith picks the ball up, just turns his man Jonathan Macken, and again over to this right hand side, over the head of Glen Little. Ryan Kidd's header, and the last substitute for North End, Jonathan Macken's going off. Brett Angel, we said about this guy, Burnley showed interest in him as well a few months ago actually, and he's joined Preston, but I don't know, you know, he's always scored against the Clarets, whoever he's played for, but not this afternoon I don't think. Well, I hope not anyway. Glen Little now, who gets the ball for Ian Cox. Little turns his man. Very disappointing, but there will be some ups and there will be some downs. This is a temporary down. Now then, here's Steve Davis. Mickey Mellon going to spray it surely to that left-hand side. Paul Smith's on mark. He's chose not to do that. He's gone to the near side again with Lenny Johnrose. Mellon again for the Clarets in the inside right channel for Little. Just manages to control it well with the long outstretched legs. Oh, he's so good at that, isn't he? Good cross to the near post, straight into Moylan's midriff. And
message from Lancashire Police for Preston supporters who travelled to Turf Moor by coach. We ask you to remain in the stand for about 10 minutes while your coach is apart outside the ground. Thank you.
Well, we're just hoping, David, for a consolation, I'm thinking, because we can't hope to get 3 or 4. Foul there. Yeah. Be a good game to win, as I say. Better to draw a point. Can't see it. The players look like they've given up the ghost. Glen there just a few minutes ago beat his men really well. Chip one in, wanted somebody to attack the near post, and they've given up the ghost of the players up front.
Free kick taken by Cox. Free blows up again. He's having words with Colin Murdoch there, the number 14 for Preston, and the kick will be taken once again. It's gone awfully quiet here in the Hargreaves stand, and for obvious reasons, a free kick will be taken again by Ian Cox. Bit of acrobatics there in the Preston penalty area. Mickey Mellon on that far side. Burnley just wondering which way to try and get a consolation here. Mellon plays it in, but goalkeeper's there again. Moynihan, no real problem. Giant of a goalkeeper, incidentally, who just seems to command his 6-yard area.
See, when you analyse a match, David, you've got to say that you haven't seen their keeper really have to make a save. You know, we've said once or twice, well saved Crichton, you know, down to it and what have you. We haven't really made him save. And I remember a cross that they had earlier on where the lad really should have put it into the net, and they missed that good chance, and 1 or 2 in the second half. But they've really done most of the, they've asked most of the questions, in all honesty.
Yeah, asking the questions there. That's Glen Little who's on the ball now. It's that Ian Wright just cannot get around the 2 men who, Edwards and Murdoch, crowding Ian Wright out. Brass is in there. Brass is Steve Basham going down at this late stage is not going to deter the referee, surely. Graham Branch goes down, and Woody Alfie was going to get up then, but he will. Terry said he will do now. They think it's all over. Yeah, it's one of those sort of cliches, isn't it? It's Lenny Johnrose. Steve Davis. Davis trying to get Little going again on the right-hand side. The Preston defence have made it very, very difficult for Glen Little this afternoon. And Ian Cox. And then taken away from Ian Cox. But Little picks it up for the Clarets. Oh. He was trying to get it going there was Steve Davis, but there's no defence back. Now there's an opportunity here. This could be number 4. He's not given it, has he?
Well, he was the man who was just down injured, I think, David. And I just said a minute ago, I said watch him get up now, and he didn't on that occasion. But as the ball came over, there he was, straight up, and he's limping now. I mean, that is really taking the mickey. And it's a good job Turkmore wasn't full, because the crowd would have been incensed at that incident. Go on, Smithy.
1 minute of added time.
Smith with a shot, which is wide of the uprights, and well, he streaked away like somebody who, well, amazing. Absolutely.
And wagging the crowd, David said that there's a minute of injury time left, and his mate said, yeah, and we'll have a minute's silence.
Well, kick taken by Moynihan, the Preston keeper then. Chris Brass gives it back for Paul Crichton with seconds remaining in this game. That's it. It's the Lancashire derby which went wrong for the Clarets. A chance to pull back on Preston, but they know what it's all about. They missed out on the playoffs last year, and they had one defeat against Gillingham last week, and they weren't going to go down this week. It's been disappointing, but Burnley will bounce back, Terry, against Luton on Tuesday.
Hope so, because the Lancashire output's definitely gone cold for us, David. We didn't really seem to be up for it, did we? The early goal takes away a bit of the thunder from fire from your belly. That was quenched. The sending off there, you're down to 10 men, really is disappointing to the crowd who's turned up in full numbers. They're packed Turkmore. We've got to bounce back, David, no question about it, because they can win. We have to bounce back on Tuesday night.
So we'll be there, if you will. 7:45 kick-off at Turf Moor Tuesday night. It's Burnley versus Luton, but today it's been disappointing. It's been Burnley 0, Preston North End 3.